Hello, our dear listener and our viewer. You're welcome to NYC Radio 88.3 FM and NYC Television. My name is Eze Olugele, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the guest of the moment. We have our guest of the moment this morning as the Director, Information and Public Relations, National Youth Service Corps, Chief Eddy Megwa, FNIPR, as our guest this morning. He will be fielding questions on issues surrounding his sojourn in NYC, even as he is about to leave service. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this program, Chief Eddy Megwa.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Eze.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Sir, you've been known with several appellations. You're the PR guru, you're the event manager, you are the power dresser, you are a welfarist. Can you please give us an insight on who Chief Eddy Megwa is?
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. I am Eddy Megwa, and starting from scratch, I'm from Imo State and hail from Nkopala local government area. In fact, Umunekengo is my village, and that's the local government headquarters of Nkopala local government area. Okay, I came from a family, a God-fearing family. Emmanuel Megwa, my father, and Justina Megwa, my mother. My father worked as a missionary, and we're 8 in my family, 5 ladies and 3 men. We lost 1, so we're left with 7 now, and all of us were born in missionary work. I specifically was born in a town called Ozobolo. Ozobolo is in the present Anambra State now. And 3 months after my birth, my father died. Okay, and my mother was left with 7 children, and the oldest then just finished primary 6. That's my elder sister, Eunice Megwa, And my mother struggled very hard. She insisted that all the children must go to school. And all of us went to school, and I attended primary school in where my mother was a matron in Teachers Training College in Ihe. Ihe now is in Abia State, Isialangwa local government area. From there, I attended the Ihe High School, that's the secondary school. And when my mother died in 1981, I had to move down to Ilorin to stay with my eldest brother, who just then graduated from medical school and finished his youth service, Dr. Joseph Megwa, a very brilliant man, a wonderful man. He's a man I see as my father today, okay? Because he brought me up. Very brilliant. In fact, in medical school, in the Lawrence, medical students call him an electron, that he charges like an electron. He's a man I love, I admire his intelligence. Okay, that was 1981. I started staying with him. I finished and finished my secondary school and went to SBS in what we call them Kwara Tech, now Kwara Poly. I did my basic studies there, A-levels, had my GCE A-level and IJMB. And subsequently, I gained admission in University of Ilorin to read English and Performing Arts combined arts, okay? After graduation in 1989, I was mobilized for national service and deployed to Bauchi State. And it was a beautiful session for me. It was a self-discovery session. And for the first time, I needed to take decision on issues that concerns me. okay, and nobody to control me, and I saw myself that my destiny was in my hands, and it was a good opportunity to redefine who I was, okay, and that therefore gave me a springboard to begin to do so many things during my National Youth Service Corps days. And I was the president of the drama group. I worked in the editorial group and all that. And I had favor with the state director of the National Youth Service Corps Bauchi then, Chief Gregory Cass Enegwa, a man with wonderful words. When he speaks with you, he will convince you into doing even what you don't want to do. A wonderful man. So at the end of my service, NYSC immediately engaged me as a public relations officer. And that was my dream. And that dream came when I was in orientation camp. There was this man that was functioning as a PR person called Mr. Ozo. You know, each time he come out to address us at the parade ground, I admired him. I wanted to be one like him. And I kept telling myself, look, this job, I love it. I need to see how I could get myself to do what this guy is doing. To God be the glory, I was employed and I made public relations officer and deployed to River State in 1990. And I started the job. From there, 1991, I was deployed, posted to Yobe State at the creation of New State. Much later, I was again posted to Anambra State. About 1996, I was posted again to Borno State. 2004, I was posted to Benue State, and subsequently made the protocol officer to the Director General. And much later, in 2019, I was made the state coordinator of NYSC Cross River. And in 2020, I was posted again as the state coordinator at NYSC Lagos. Eventually, I got promoted to grade level 17, and I was asked to come and man the affairs of the public relations unit of the National Youth Service Corps. That's been my journey so far, and it's been so wonderful. And building up to the point when I'll be disengaging on Friday. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. There was something you said. You said the youth service was a redefining moment for you.
Yeah.
What were those moments for you? Because for you to have actually been employed almost immediately after your service, there must be some things that really struck a chord in you that really made that possible.
Yeah, I took my time to watch my colleagues, corps members. But I lived, okay, let me take it from the day we left orientation camp. We were 4 posted to Ministry of Information, the Open Air Theater Division of Bauchi Ministry of Information. And we left camp, I think, around 2 p.m. And by the time we got there, 4 of us, 2 guys and 2 ladies. So by the time we got there, about 4, we learned that the head of that open air theater, she had closed and she had gone home. So we had nowhere to go. We were just left with that open air, environment, with our bags and buckets and all that. I said, no, we can't be here. And we asked the security man, look, where is this woman living? The leader of this place, the head of this place. They described to us, we climbed back, they call it Achaba in Bauchi State. 4 of us. I told my colleagues we are going to meet that woman. She's our mother. And look, we have not eaten. We need to eat in her house. Let's go. So we climbed Achaba and we got to the woman's house. He said, yes, what's the problem? He said, we are corps members, we are posted to you. We went to your office and said you had gone. And our mother, we needed to know where you are. At least we need to eat to start with. He said, no, you can't. Who brought you here? She started shouting. So as she was shouting, I started laughing. Of course, as a theater artist, I needed to reduce her anger to a comedy. I started laughing. In fact, as she was raging, I sat on the rug in her house. I told my colleagues to sit down. Forget Mama is our mother, not mine. She'll give us food. So I told the mother, I said, Mommy, when you finish, please, we are your children. Give us food. We want to eat. So she didn't know.
There's no way the modeling.
Oh, yeah. She didn't know what to do but to look for food for us. So we ate. I know she did it reluctantly. No, so she told us that her driver was going to take us back to the open air division. That there are some rooms there that are going to give us where we'll pass the night. Then tomorrow we'll see how we can negotiate where we're going to stay. So we agreed. She called the driver who took us back there. So when the driver dropped us and left, behold, there was nowhere to stay. All the rooms were locked. Now we looked out, we saw one abandoned Red Cross home. Grasses were already growing inside the room. No door, no window. 4 of us went inside there. The ladies brought their wrapper to do window curtain and the door curtain. And so we stayed there, we slept there. No security, nothing. Now, when we want to go out to eat, one person will stay behind to watch over our loads, and the others will come there. That one will now go. Now, after 2 days, ladies, they found their square root. They left me and the other guy. Now, his name is Peter. He graduated from University of Jos. He read theater arts too. So, myself and Peter will remain there for the next 3 days. Peter was from Plateau State. So he told me, Eddy, look, man, I'm going home. Let me go and sort out myself and come back. I said, Peter, are you leaving me? He said, I have no choice. Peter left. I was there alone. So that night I slept. The next day, I went to the secretariat. I had to meet the director. I said, sir, look at my predicament. I need somewhere to stay. So with the love he showed all of us during the orientation camp, I saw it again in him. Chief Gregory Eddy, he directed the PA to take me to NYSC transit camp. They gave me a room there. And I started living with other corps members. Now, in the morning, you see some of them, they will not go to work. They will just sit down and be gisting. And I kept looking at them. I said, no, this is not what brought me here. I need to do something extraordinary for myself. I need to discover myself. And I cannot do this by sitting down with these guys, gisting every morning. On the CD day, they will go on CD, go over there to tell stories, and come back to upload the stories they have learned for that period. And week, that's what their activities. I said, no. I had to go to a commercial school near our transit camp. I told them, look, I can teach your students English and literature. They took me. Okay. Now, I went to Federal Government College, Bauchi. And I told them, look, I could teach them drama, theater arts. I can also teach them English and literature. They took me again. I went to adult and non-formal education center at Wunti Gate, just by the right. I told them I could teach them even government and English. They took me. Now, these are 3 extra places, apart from my primary assignments. Now, when I leave my house in the morning, I don't come back till around 8 in the night. So that kept me busy. And at the end of every month, my pocket will be so large. And the corps members, Eddy is a big boy, Eddy is making money. You see me, I dress well, I wear good dresses, and eat good food. What others cannot eat, I see myself eating with ease, okay? Now, that captured my attitude of life, that there is no space to waste, no time to waste. And that's the defining moment of my life. What other corps members suffered during the period of national service, I never did, because I actively involved myself in various activities. And that was awesome for me. And that was a defining moment that I carried through even when I got employed in National Youth Service Corps. In Rivers State, Eddy was everything. Master of ceremony. Okay, I was presenting a program in Radio Rivers. I had a TV program in NTA Rivers called Youth Rendezvous. And that was a program that every youth, every young guy in Rivers in 1990 will always look forward to. Just like all of us look forward to Politics Today by Shanwa Akin Baloyi, okay? So everywhere, if I'm walking on the road, Eddy, Mr. Eddy, Mr. Eddy, because they love my show. And until today, I'm sure they have clips of my show in NTA Rivers, So it was a defining moment, and thank God I have carried it even up to this day.
Yeah, from your story, it goes to tell both serving corps members and prospective corps members that their service year is supposed to be a defining moment for them, where they take on challenges, solve issues, and then get themselves ready for the life that is to come. You also told us about your career journey. I want to ask, were there challenging moments during your career journey? What were those challenges and how were you able to surmount them?
Oh, yeah. Challenging, yes, because if you are in PR, every session of work that comes to you has its own peculiarity. For instance, if the DG is visiting NYSC Rivers, then for instance, I wouldn't want to do what I did the last time.
Okay. Ingenuity.
Oh, yeah. So I will need to create, I will read about the Director General. I want to search into him to know what is this extra thing I can do to thrill the man and his audience. Okay. So each time a unique personality is coming, and I will have to see myself to anchor the program. Or anytime the governor of the state is coming to attend NYSC program, orientation, passing out, swearing in, and all that, I will need to do something that I have not done before. So every occasion comes with new challenge to me. And I tell you, each time I finish the occasion, people will come to me, Mr. Eddy, today is unique. They will hug me, and I'll feel fulfilled that I am driving the process that people are admiring. In fact, I remember when Colonel Brymo, who was the then DG, he came after handling the Master of Ceremony. He called me and put good money in the envelope. He said, "You are the PRO?" I said, "Yes, sir." He gave me money. Now, it is not about the amount of money in that envelope that was the push. The push to me is that my boss, my ultimate boss, appreciated my work and is proud that this is my public relations officer. To me, that was the satisfying moment for me.
Was it also what made the DG to pick you as a protocol officer?
Well, I wouldn't know because I never knew General Pomoy from Adams. I don't know him. And I knew very well that for any assignment I'm given, even those that I'm now given, those I'm able to create myself, I want to give the best from it. And I recall that some retired directors then, now they're retired, then they were serving. That was in 2004, when General Pomoy was appointed the DG of NYSC. So he said he needed a young man, a protocol officer, forward-looking, very active, and that can serve that purpose. So they couldn't even remember my name. But they knew there's this guy in Meduguri, that the guy is agile, is this, is that. They started looking out for my name and got me. And now I received a radio message that the Director General has appointed me as protocol officer. I should proceed to Abuja immediately. Now, people cannot recommend you if they have not seen value in you. There must be something that you are doing, others are not doing, that is positive, that will, put you as a distinctive person, that will mark you out for people to identify you, to say, no, among this lot, this person is unique. I guess that was the reason.
Yeah, this is very, very instructive to all core members, because whatever you're doing, do it right, do it to the best of your ability. You just might not know who is watching. I believe that has always been your mantra, and it has also led you even up to this moment. You will soon be exiting service after, I think, 34 years of service.
Yeah.
How will you describe your sojourn in NYC?
Oh, I'm a fulfilled man. And I tell friends, I tell colleagues, I tell people that I've had the opportunity to work with, that I couldn't have had it better in any organization that is not National Youth Service Corps. I'm fulfilled to the extent that all the people that I started this sojourn with, I don't think any of them got to the level where I am. Okay? And between my relationship with God, there is nothing that I desired to attain in my workplace, and I prayed to Him to make me attain that I have not attained. Like I said earlier on, I see myself as a successful public servant in National Youth Service Corps, because I rose from grass to grace. And I see myself not wearing the toga of excessive honor on me, but I see myself as a humble instrument that God used, okay, to paint this scheme good in my little perspective, where I contributed my quota in the upliftment of this National Youth Service Corps. I'm fulfilled. I don't think there are areas I feel that I ought to have done well that I have not. God showed me the way. He's been my anchor, he's been my fortress, he's been my visioner. For everything I do, God have always shown me a revelation. And with that revelation, it has, translated to accomplishments. I think I'm fulfilled.
Okay. Having gotten to the zenith of your career,
yeah.
If you were to be in the university environment, one would say you're a professor. And by that appellation, you are one of the right persons to talk about policies of the scheme.
Yeah.
Funding an annual increase in core population is a challenge to the scheme.
Yeah.
And the scheme is currently grappling with it. What do you suggest as the way out for the scheme?
Oh, well, it has been an issue of controversy and debate. What will become of NYSC in the nearest future, especially with the population explosion of the National Youth Service Corps. Don't forget, at the inception of the scheme, the entire nation was able to mobilize just over 2,000, okay? But as I speak with you now, NYSC is mobilizing 370 to 380,000 core members every year. Now, to that extent, the facilities for training them in orientation camp cannot match this population growth. Now, I see it that we are growing in astronomical number, okay? Why the facilities are static. And that was why the successive directors general has been going to meet various governors of all the states, telling them to please upgrade your orientation camp capacity. At least let us have about 5,000 capacity training grounds.
Which is their statutory function.
Yes, which is their statutory function, okay, in the National Youth Service Corps Act, okay. Now, going for that, therefore, the amount of money government spent in National Youth Service Corps in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even the year 2000, keep increasing every year. And there is an alarm where we're just proposing to sound that if we don't do something, the population will grow to the point that the government might find it very difficult to fund the scheme. And that is why the NYSC came up with the Youth NYSC Trust Fund. That in that trust fund, once that is granted and signed by Mr. President, I want to tell you, we'll say bye-bye to lack of fund. We'll be able to train these core members, give them everything they need. And by the way, you will also agree with me that today, what is driving the scheme is skill acquisition. Because the white-collar jobs are no more there. Things are very difficult. And that is why we are training these core members in orientation camp. We devote 10 days in camp to train them in different skills. So that as you're leaving the orientation camp, you would have identified a particular skill you are interested in. And so that during the period of your primary assignment, you perfect on such skills. The moment you're leaving the National Youth Service Corps, if we have that trust fund, the government, NYSC, through the trust fund, will now give you startup capital to start your business. A small-scale business that you can employ 2-3 people. Now, look at it. Look at the indices. If out of 370 core members, we say 300, for instance, start small-scale business, and one of them will employ 3 people in this called small-scale business. You see the cumulative effect of pulling our young ones out of unemployment market.
900 people.
Oh, sure. And before you know it, these small-scale businesses will start contributing to the GDP of the country. That is how India started. That is how China started. In fact, at a point, they say in China, every family must produce something. Now, when production is large, okay, the cost will drop. Now, the GDP of the country will grow. And the country will now be based on production. And the foreign currency you are expecting will also blossom. That is the only way we can get to being developed in this country. We must say no to white-collar jobs. Now, let me give you an instance. A core member who took interest in photography in Lagos while I was in Lagos. Okay, a lady, when she passed out, she employed 3 people. They were moving, covering occasions. Her work was so good. Today, as I speak with you, she has over 50 people in her employment. People book her in UK, in US, everywhere to go and cover occasions. Now, if you call that lady today and say, hey, we want to hire you in government work and we're going to pay you 1 million naira a month, she will say, no, I'm not interested.
She's the boss of her own.
Oh, yes. She has satisfaction. And let me tell you, that sense of craftsmanship is the main thing in every individual. When you know that this is your work, when you see it, you feel fulfilled beyond the money you're getting from it. And that's what we're teaching these core members. And I'm so excited that in the orientation camp, so many of them key into it. And it's so important to us that we don't joke with. We carry them on, and the government is supporting us. If we can get this NYSC trust fund, then NYSC is good to go in the nearest future.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We're still with the Director, Information and Public Relations of the National Youth Service Corps, Chief Eddy Megwa. Sir, before the Said came into being, NYSC had a heartbeat, and that's the Community Development Service, where corps members go into their communities to seek out the felt need of the communities and then deal with it. In recent years, CDS seems to be dwindling. What do you think is the issue, and how can we arrest it?
Well, I wouldn't say it's dwindling. Don't forget, I mentioned something like population explosion, okay? And the corps members are so many things are still going on. It's just that because there are so many, and a fraction of them commit themselves in these community development projects, and that's why it looks as if nothing is going on. And more so, the economic situation is also affecting. I mean, the thing is everywhere all around the country. Now, this thing we call community development services ordinarily should be financed by the communities. Now, NYSC is to produce the manpower, okay, the skilled manpower. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have engineers, okay, we have people trained in various fields. For instance, the engineers posted to a particular village will approach the village town meeting or people that are well to do there. Say, look, this stream, we need to put a bridge. We can do it for you people. All you need to do is get us the materials, and we'll get it done. Now, because of the economic downturn, they are not able to raise funds to do things like that. And don't forget, government cannot do everything. And we don't allow corps members to use their personal stipend to go into construction and community development work. It is wrong. It's the community that is expected to finance it. But even with this, so many of them are still carrying out some of these activities. It's going on. The other day, we were watching NYSC half hour. We saw a medical doctor who built a clinic in the village, okay, with the support of the community, equipped it, the community employed nurses and other artisans that are working in that place. And they are giving health, services to the community. And it's so good. Another boy, I think somewhere in Borno State, okay, went and reconstructed a primary school building, whereas the children were receiving lessons under the tree. He built it and got desk, okay, and students can now sit instead of sitting on the floor to receive their lessons. When I was in Calabar, a particular young man who has a specialty in carpentry, a corps member, went to the community and told them, say, look at your students. They are sitting down on the floor in secondary school, while the teachers are teaching them. He said, no, this is wrong. In fact, that boy was posted to that school. He said, look, if you people can give me wood, I will make desk for all these students free of charge. The community said, you mean you won't charge them? He said, no. And you're not getting, she said, I will do it myself. They brought wood. Before you know it, he did 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 desks and chairs. Okay? The Director General had to leave Abuja to come to Cross River and went to that secondary school, okay, to appreciate that young man. Eventually, the boy won national award. He's in Plateau here doing his work. You need to visit his carpentry work. He's into furniture, this kind of chairs and all that. He's doing it in a large-scale business area. Now, that is community development.
There's no way that thing would not have rubbed off on the students.
Oh, yeah. It has encouraged the students so much. In fact, from that point, some of the students opted that they want to assist him in doing that carpentry work. Some of them, he trained them. Right now, they are carpenters. They are doing the work. Everybody must not go to university.
That's apprenticeship.
Oh, yes. And that is how society grows. You must not be in the university to make a living in the world we have found ourselves. People must take responsibility in taking charge of one art or the other. And that's what we are teaching them in skill acquisition. And I'm glad the thing is happening this skill.
Thank you very much, sir. It's so sad that you're leaving service at this moment. But looking back through your career, are there regrets you have, things you thought or you think you would have done better or you can change? Do you have such a feeling?
I wouldn't say things one would have done better, but rather things that we could do and expand the coast of the National Youth Service Corps. For instance, the NYSC TV radio just came into being, and we give glory to God. Now, an organization that have existed for 51 years, still counting, is an organization that should have every infrastructure to expand its coast. As it is now, I don't see the reason why this TV and radio station should not be in all states of the Federation. At least starting from each geopolitical zone. My brother, do you know the number of youth we control in this country? And the youth of this country are the people the country is depending on to run the affairs of this country tomorrow. And so any society that will not go extra mile to vote good money to maintain the youth of that country is in trouble. And that is why we give every attention to issues concerning the skill, especially when the youth are involved. This TV radio will be glad if it can be expanded. Approval given, funds provided, and that's what we're talking about, trust fund. These things will go better. Now, looking at the orientation camps, so many of them in the country are not good enough. The state government, which is their statutory function to improve on this orientation camp, should live up to their expectation. We don't need to beg them, because these young ones, we deploy them to various states to help them in their socio-economic development of their states. You cannot quantify the services they are providing in these states. And so no amount of money you spend in National Youth Service Corps in your state that will be deemed to be too much. Recently, the Director General with the Honorable Minister went to Niger State, during their swearing-in ceremony. The governor came out. He said he has decided that he's voting 5 billion for the orientation camp. He gave the corps members 1 trailer load of rice. He gave them 20 bulls and gave each of them 200,000 naira. Now, let me tell you the magic now. Because of what that man has done, everybody is lobbying to go and serve in Niger State. Now, beyond that, the man is having mechanized farm in Niger State. And he said, as many corps members that are ready to make themselves available to work with him in his mechanized farm, that he is going to keep them very comfortable. That he's going to give them accommodation. By the end of their service, he's going to buy them vehicles, and he's going to retain them to expand the cost of their mechanized farm. Now, what else are we looking for? If a graduate is going to have a house, if a graduate is going to be given a vehicle, if a graduate is going to be handsomely paid every month, what else are you looking for? Governor Sanwo-Olu in Lagos followed up, went to the orientation camp and did the same. Voted 5 billion for the construction of the permanent orientation camp and gave each of the core members 100,000 naira. And also the staff that are training the young ones. Okay. Now, my regret is that governors are not living up to expectation. If every state governor can begin to behave like the likes of Niger State Governor, like the likes of the governor of Lagos State, and few of them, the governor of Borno State, and few others that are also doing very good, encouraging the expansion of the cost of National Youth Service Corps in their states, NYSC will be the scheme to beat in international youth market. So that's my regret, that they are not following the content of NYSC Act that is supposed to guide them in what they are supposed to do, their responsibilities. So also local government. And that's why I'm so excited that this local government autonomy is coming up now. Now, local government chairman will instantly start taking responsibility of what happens to the youth core members that are posted to their local government areas. The NYSC Local Government Committee, as enshrined in NYSC Act, should begin to function appropriately. The chairman of that local government committee is the chairman of the local government. We have traditional rulers there. We have the LGI, who is the secretary of the committee. And their work is to look after the young ones. Now, unless such committees is in place and functioning very well, the youth will not get the absolute dividend of their serving in local communities. So these are some of my regrets, and I wish some of these issues could be addressed.
Invariably, the places of primary assignment, the stakeholders can make an asset out of the core members to their own advantage.
Oh, very well, very well. All right. Very
well. On a final note, what words of advice do you have for the NYC family, the core members, the staff, on how to move the scheme forward?
Oh, well, let me start with the management. The management has been up and doing with each successive director general that come into place to oversee the affairs of the scheme. And my advice is that we should remain as one big indivisible entity. We should work like an ensemble. We should work like a family. We should see NYSC issue as our issue and not their issue. Everybody should be emotionally involved in policy issues about the scheme. And we should commit ourselves to driving these policy issues. There should not be any division. And I'm excited to know that over the years, we've not had such a division. And it shouldn't come, because that is the only thing that can mar the progress of any organization. We should see ourselves as one, and unless we see ourselves as one, these young ones we're training, we might mislead them because they are watching. In orientation camps, I tell the staff there, these young ones, you think they are not watching, they are watching you. And they are seeing all of you as role model. Now, the entire management of the scheme nationwide, all the staff, both at the high level, intermediate, and lower level, the core members see them as model, and by extension, role model. So they want to do whatever we are doing. And so we must get it right, just like in our families. We have children. Whatever you, the father or mother, is doing is what your children is going to emulate. You know. So we should see ourselves as people that are driving the right course for these young ones to follow.
Role models.
Role models. That's one. Now, for the core members, like I said in the beginning of this talk, that you should see yourself as being in a session that can redefine your life. Now, I'm not interested to know who you are or where you are coming from or what you have passed through in life before becoming a core member. Now you are a core member. All things have passed away. You are in a new line of life now. And this is the time you should take responsibility for your life. Now, when you finish youth service and you are going to attend an interview, people are not going to ask you, who is your father? Or who is your mother? They will only ask you, tell us about yourself. And that is the point you begin to take acute responsibility for who you are. You do right, you take responsibility. You do wrong, you take responsibility. And I know for any average man or woman that want to succeed in life, you must begin to think positive. And NYSC period is the only time that you can redefine your life and, prove enemies wrong about who you are. Perchance, you come from a very poor family like mine. My father never completed his house before he died. He never bought a car before he died. Okay? He never had any house in the cosmopolitan environment before he died. But I told myself, I need to work hard to be able to achieve things my father could not achieve. And I'm glad I've done all that today. I'm a successful man. And you know why? Because I cautioned myself from beginning. Don't take to issues that will distract you at the embryonic formation of your life. Detest such distractions. Be focused. Get what you want. By the time you get what you want, it's just like the biblical saying that seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing will come your way. Now, the kingdom of God here now is for you to be a successful person. Once you're a successful person, women will come pursuing you, money will come pursuing you, the society, the government will come pursuing you. You are the one that will be running, making choice of what you want. I recall in those days when I was in the university, my senior brother, Dr. Megwa, he said, look, my friend, you better sit down and read your book very well. You see me now, I'm a medical doctor. Anything I want, I'll get it today. Because I'm successful. Now, once you're successful, you are the one to choose the kind of club you want to go. You will choose the kind of wife you want to marry because women will be everywhere. You understand? You will choose the kind of car you want to buy because you have the money. But the moment you misplace your priority at the embryonic stage, you have missed it in life. And once you miss it, you have missed it. You will now end up antagonizing yourself. When you see your mates that are successful, you'll be asking yourself, what have I done to myself? You begin to beg them to help you. Whereas, if you have done well, you would have been the one to be helping others. And my third advice to the society is society should give NYSC better oxygen. Support this scheme. There is no scheme like this scheme in this nation, Nigeria, even beyond. It is.
Let the scheme breathe.
Oh yeah, it's an exceptional scheme. If this scheme goes down today, all families will go down. Because parents are begging NYSC, come and take these children away from us. Go and train them. We are tired of seeing them in our house every day. They keep calling the DG. When is your next orientation? These children, they are eating too much in my house. My money is finished. They are driving my car. Take them away and go and train them. See the importance of this scheme? They are begging us to come and take them, to do what they cannot do with these kids in their homes. And that is why NYSC is called a household name. And we keep soaring. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's a very nice place to draw the curtains on this program, Personality of the Moment. Dear listener and dear viewer, it's been a wonderful, wonderful time with the Director, Information and Public Relations of the National Youth Service Corps, Chief Eddy Megwa, Fellow, Nigeria Institute of Public Relations. Once again, we're happy having you around. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And you've heard it from him. Make yourself relevant and the world will be in your pocket. I am Eddy Megwa. Bye for now.
NYSC TV and radio, putting the nation first.